So you guys, welcome, welcome, welcome.
A cultura do povo Yorubá foi muito importante para a emancipação, para a liberdade do povo que estava negro, africano, que estava aqui escravizado.
It was during the civil rights ages. We were opening rural culture to the black people that had no knowledge of where they came from, had no knowledge of ancestors.
Now, of course, the people that I know that have watched this documentary, and I believe I've spoken to you about it before, they kept questioning that why is it the title it is bigger than Africa? Why? You know? So please address these people.
Okay, see, there are two reasons for that. One of the reasons is that Yoruba is one of the, largest, tribes in Africa, period, not Nigeria, and we have huge numbers, that's one. So, and we can not, if we are just talking about, the Yorubas, and we kind of like speak about it on the basis of Yoruba is just Nigeria. That's wrong. Because Yoruba are not just in Nigeria. They are in Republic of Benin. They are in Togo, all the way some part of Ghana. There's Yorubas in Sierra Leone.
Yes.
I might not cover Sierra Leone, but we have all this research and all that. If you still look at some of the Sierra Leonean government officials' names, till today, you still see Adekeye, Alabi, Yabo, and things like that in Sierra Leone till today. And I forgot the other countries. Anyway. So, but those are African, right? That's still African.
Yes.
So, if we're talking about the Yorubas and we didn't include the diaspora, it's incomplete.
True.
It's incomplete. Because all these people, when you watch Bigger Than Africa, you're gonna see it. They do things the way we do it back home.
Yes.
And these are things that are passed down from generation to generation. These are people that are taken away. So, because they are not in Africa, doesn't mean they are not Yoruba. Because they can't speak the language fluently, doesn't mean that, they're not Yorubas. So for me, Yoruba is bigger than Africa, not just in Africa. So that's, one reason. The other reason is that, when we say Yoruba, right? Just like we just discussed, the spirituality of the Yoruba, the whole mythology of the Yoruba is being held onto in Bahia, in Port of Spain, in Tobago, in Havana, and all these places. So, and to me, they are proud. They will tell you straight up, "Oh, I'm Yoruba. I'm Yoruba. I'm Oshun. Oh, I'm Yoruba. I'm Shango. I do this and I do that, and things like that."
Yes.
So they have. I'm Nigerian. I don't remember the last time I met someone, who kind of like can boldly say things like that back home to you. And I'm not talking people on the street. I'm talking, like people who are like professor, people who are like, IT guys and, and things like that, lecturers.
Yes.
So architects, so if you look at that, the pride is kind of, to me, bigger to them than to us.
To us.
Back home. They kind of, hold on to it and cherish it a lot. So Yoruba is, that's part of the reason why, we title it bigger
than
Africa. Not just in Africa, these things all over the place.
You guys, I hope you got that. Rewind if you didn't get it. Thank you for the explanation. Our next question would be, who would you say are your mentors in this industry? Who do you look up to?
Oh, well, there's a lot of people to look up to, definitely. But one director that I kind of feel like I admire a lot is Spike Lee.
Oh.
Yeah, I do admire Spike Lee, you know, but from the African perspective, Ousmane Sembene from Senegal.
Oh.
A lot of people might not know his name and things like that, but these are people that fought for African cinema to be recognized, you know, and kind of like open doors to African films to be, you know, accepted, and for the people who want the African story to be told from the perspective of the Africans.
Yes.
You know, so to me, you know, those are like people that are, you know, I admire a lot because, you know, most of the time it's not about how many movie you put out.
Yes.
It's about the impact.
Yeah, that
you know, that you made. And I admire Spike Lee because, you know, he kind of like makes something happen. If you look at his first film, he makes something happen out of nothing. And for him to get to where he is today, so it's exemplary.
Sweet. Thank you. So we know this movie was originally released in February, right? February 2018.
Yes.
But we're just seeing it on Netflix.
Yeah.
So what was the reason why that was?
Well, you know, it happens sometimes. We debuted at Film Festival in 2018 at the Pan-African Film Festival in Los Angeles. Screened to sold out audience twice. And right after the first screening, I got a distribution deal.
Okay.
After the first screening.
Wow.
And they sent me the paperwork and all of that, but there are other things that they were supposed to do that they didn't do. Oh. So I was advised by a mentor, you know, Glenn Tolman, one of Black Hollywood, you know, actors. A lot of people might know him. He's, you know, he's a prominent Hollywood guy, Glenn Tolman. So, and he was like, don't take it. You know, it's like, don't take it.
Wow.
You know, if you let it go, it's not going to be, they're not going to do what you're asking them to do. I know what they're trying to do. Don't take it. So I listened to him, and, you know, so I refused the offer.
Yes.
You know, we kept on screening at festivals, and we had success at you know, various festivals. We got nomination for the African Movie Academy Awards.
Yes.
We screened after that, we screened at the Berlin House of World Culture in Germany, Festival International de Film Pan-Africain in Cannes, New York African Film Festival, we screened in Chicago, African Diaspora, Yale Council of African Studies.
Wow.
Then we got an invitation to the United Nations.
Nice.
So the UN has a program called Remember Slavery. So after our screening at the Lincoln Center in New York, the UN invited us to bring the film for that program.
Wow.
So we went to the UN, we screened at the UN to sold out audience as well. And we also got invited to the Schomburg Center for research on Black culture in New York. They had the Schomburg Center had the largest collection of archival materials regarding to Black history all over the world. So they screen bigger than Africa for Black History Month. So, you know, I'm happy, and, you know, kind of like, you know, I appreciate you for the support that the film has kind of received.
Yes.
And, you know, I think all of that kind of like, you know, called attention of Netflix to, you know, believe in it and put it on their platform.
Wow, that's beautiful. Wow, that's great. Wow. So you guys, Netflix, go watch. Like, I don't know what else to tell you guys. Go watch it. So you are here because of TIFF.
Yeah.
So how are you enjoying the events? How are you enjoying the city, our city, the sixth Toronto? Yeah.
Oh no, I love it. I love it. Toronto has been really fun. You know, it's been the vibe is different to LA.
Yes.
It's a little mellow here, and I love that change. You know, for a minute. So yeah.
Oh man, that's good.
Fun in Toronto, yeah.
So, but do you think TIFF needs to be having a bit more Afrocentric movies, or they're doing fine?
Of course, they should. Not just Steve. All of them, need to be having more, Afrocentric films.
Yeah.
And, because we know, Hollywood tells African stories, but they still need to look into the African producers and directors, who are doing it either on the continent or outside of the continent. I can't tell your family story better than you.
No.
And you can tell my own, better than me.
Doesn't matter how much
you
research.
try.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, So I think they need to do that. So it's, and there was a year where they screened multiple film from Nollywood. I think maybe that was maybe 2017 or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I know a couple of
so
actors were in.
But at least they are trying though to give it to them. They are still trying compared to some of the other festivals.
Okay. So what's next for you?
Ooh. Well,
how are you going to top this?
Well, the goal is to top it for sure. I have a couple of things in the pipeline, but it's still kind of like pretty early. I have a fiction film that we're about to launch. I have other documentary and the epic, documentary of this magnitude that we also, working on. But pretty soon. Okay. Pretty soon.
So it's going to be another documentary.
Well, I haven't made that decision yet. Okay. To be honest, so I'm still going to have to weigh the option of which one we're gonna, go for first. Okay. Because that would, depend on a few factors.
Okay. Understood. So we're coming to the ending of our interview here. My last question would be, what is the most important thing that you want the viewers, your fans, to take away from this documentary that you put so much time, energy, resources into?
Oh, well, I always answer that question by saying, I hope it become a unifying documentary for all people of African descent, irrespective of your country. Bigger Than Africa might be a documentary on the survival of Yoruba culture, across the world. But, if you look at the log line of the film, it says, Journey of the Africans through the lens of Yoruba culture. Yoruba culture, the Yoruba people are not the only one taken out of the continent. No. There are thousands of other cultures as well that were taken, and you will find them. You'll still find the survivors, like, the Congolese culture, you'll see that in Cuba still. The Angolan culture, you'll see that, in Brazil. The Yoruba might be the one that's most pronounced. But you can see, the others, the Igbos, you see that, like, Barbados and, Ashanti in Jamaica and all things like that. So I want to work on things like that, all the survivors, things that connect us together, as one people. So, and I feel like, in Bigger Than Africa, if you're Afro-Brazilian, your part is in the documentary. It's easy for you to connect to. If you're African-American, your story is in it. You're from the Caribbean, your story is in it, so. And if you're African on the continent of Africa,
your story's there.
Your story is in it. So,
Wow. Thank you so much. When I first saw the clip on Netflix, I was like, Bigger Than Africa. What's this about? Because I do love watching documentaries too, and especially when it has to do with Africa, because even though we're born in Africa, and I wasn't raised in Africa, but for those, even though they were raised and are still in Africa, we find that a lot of people don't know their history. So it's not even about us that grew up outside of Africa that don't know the history. Those who are living presently in the countries don't know the history, and that's because of colonialism. And we can't keep saying because of colonialism. We have to do things in order to regain those cultures and history of ours, what has been lost, what has been stolen, and start putting it back into where it belongs. And this is, of course, one of the ways to do it. And I applaud you for that, because this is what we want to see. it being told by our own people, not about the other. Because as we all know, books, history, it is, how do I put it? It is being retold, or is being read by those who write them.
Right.
So all the books
from their perspective,
from their own perspective. So with what's that African? There's an African proverb that says about the lion and the hunter or something.
Right. The story of I know the proverb. I'm just so
it's
the story of the hunt. We always glorify the hunter.
Yes.
Until the lion has
He's able to tell his own story. So is whoever is telling their story is who we're going to be hearing and believing, because that's all we know. But when the other sides tell their story, then we will now be able to say, okay, what is the truth? So right now is the truth that they're telling us is what we know, until we hear our side of the story before we actually table what the real truth is. So I applaud you that you're doing what you do. Please continue to promote us, for us, by us. It's applauded, and we hope for others out there who are inspiring or who are inspired by our director here.
Thank you.
Please be inspired. We want more of our stories being told from our own perspective, just so that the legacy, it lives on, and we start doing the right things by our people. If we have like artifacts and things that are out there that we need to take back, we need to take it back. But we don't ask for those things back because we don't even know the rights that we have towards those things. So I applaud what you're doing. Please continue to do what you do, even as you continue to explore and expand in your dreams. And I pray that whatever it is that you need to make those dreams come to light, come to pass, God grants that to you. So thank you so much for what you do. We appreciate your work. God bless the works of your hands.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for
so guys, please, I'm begging you, go and watch this and be inspired. Go and watch this and be educated. Go and watch it and, send it to someone else to watch. We might be Africans, but a lot of us are still in the dark about our history. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave comments below and click the share button. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.